Hello friends and fellow gamers, there's a massive new update which is going to be launching on Angel Legion very soon, and the devs, thanks to being really committed sponsors to the channel, have allowed me to take a look at a lot of this stuff before it goes live. So this is going to be an exclusive look at some of the brand new features added to Angel Legion very soon this month. I'm super hype. A lot of this stuff looks really cool. We've got graphical changes, we have changes to accessibility of armor, and we have brand new updates to how powerful our heroes can become, and as well, a new addition to the game, which is going to make leveling your heroes a ton easier. If you don't already play Angel Legion, now is a fantastic time to start. As I said, they do sponsor this channel, and I've worked with them, either helping them improve the game or by showing off some of the content of their game. So if you do want to go check out this, you can download it for free on Google Play. For Android users, you can get it on the iOS App Store if you have an Apple device, or you can get it on Steam if you want to go ahead and play on your PC. You can also use emulators on PC as well if you want to play on Android and your PC at the same time. And don't forget, in the description, there's a link where you can get some free code redeems to get some free stuff for your account once you've set it up. Anyway, brand new update. Let's go check it out. And guess who's joined me today? The Talking Scribe. Do you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
Let's go. So, folks, the first thing that should be immediately visible is how much the graphics have improved. They have overhauled everything. We have new lighting textures. We have new smoothed edges. Doesn't it just look fantastic, bro?
That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and if we go ahead, they've changed every single hero as well when it comes to their art. So just take a look at Mysterious Girl. Look at that improvement. Also, this is a brand new set called Maya's Uniform that you guys can get for her to wear. Doesn't that just look clean? The reflection from the lighting is phenomenal, and every single hero has been given a textural improvement to make them look a lot better. So it just pushes the game ahead when it comes to just how professional it looks, I think. It just looks really, really clean. There's even some of our favorites here that we can go and take a look at, such as Arcane Scholar, man. Look at that. Incredible. I could just go show these off all day long, but that's not necessarily what we're here to do. We've got a lot of features to show you that have been added. One of them, when it comes to how heroes look, is due to their appearance. If you have a piece of the rare armors in the game, you can have, such as this one, the Papacy boots, right? I just have the boots. Normally, what you'd have to do originally, correct me if I'm wrong, Scribe, is equip a full set to a hero, and then that hero was limited to being forced to wear that armor set. That's correct, right?
They weren't forced to wear it, but they were the only one who could wear it.
Yes, okay. But by having it now, just even one piece, just those boots that you saw in our bag there, if I go ahead to Appearance, and I can now click and scroll down, and I'm looking for what's called the Papacy armor, and I can go ahead and wear it. And there you go. Maya, even though it's not equipped to her, is wearing the full Papacy set. Now what you'll notice as well, there is no bracket and number next to this. So I can back out, and I can go, oh, I think that looks really cool. Let's go across to Shock Blaster, right? Hero that you probably don't use. I mean, she's probably good in the early game, but I can go ahead and give Shock Blaster exactly the same set of armor. And I think, you know what, that looks great. Let's go ahead to the Abuser. Appearance. Let's go. And you get the idea, guys. I can have everybody wearing the exact same set of armor, which for a lot of people who like having a matching team, this is a game changer.
I think having a full team in the same set, especially not having to spend as much time as it takes to collect all the SS armor, is amazing.
Yeah, I think it's going to look so good. Then you're able to customize your heroes, make them look like whatever you want. You could give someone, for example, the Eternal Night armor, but then you might prefer how the Papacy armor looks, so you can wear the Papacy armor whilst getting the benefits of the Eternal Night armor and still have a full matching team. It's such a cool upgrade to the game, and the devs are really keen on this because it means that actually, for example, let's say as a free-to-play player, you get a copy of the Papacy boots. Well, now you can give them the really cool armor without having a full set. So free-to-play players now get a bonus just for having an exclusive piece of armor, which I think is a really nice bone chuck towards people that want to play budget and maybe can't afford a full set straight away. Another exciting thing that's been added to the game is Arcane Scholar. Not necessarily the fact that she exists, we know that, we know she's very good, but it's the fact that we can now finally get copies of her. And by get them, I mean you can actually get them from the normal places. So if I go ahead to the yellow crystal, you can see for 20 crystals, a copy of Arcane Scholar can be yours. In addition, if we go to the cabin, and we enter the bio cabin and go to the gene pool, she is now here down at the bottom with Tenkafubu, Saint of Orleans, and Mulan. You can buy her for 7,500 War Spirit, which means, Scribe, you can finally get yourself an Arcane Scholar.
Finally, I've been saving up my resources for weeks waiting for this.
Oh yeah, it's just, it needed to happen. It was going to happen, and thank goodness it has happened. So that's really, really cool. Now, the elephant in the room, the one thing that you've probably noticed at this point, just us moving through the menus, is what on earth is going on with Valkyrie right here? Doesn't that look beautiful? This lovely frame they've been given is now an upgraded form from SS. It is called, I believe, Legend. And there are different limits to this. There's Legend 1, and turns out there's Legend 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Potentially, I don't know, we're going to find out. But what it does is it allows our heroes to be improved all the way up to 410. So, if I go back, take a look at Arcane Scholar, you'll see once you get a hero all the way up to 5-star red, if you click Evolve, if you have 400 SS, that's a lot of SS copies, but if you have 400 SS, you can awaken and reach yourself to Legend 1. Oh, yeah. Hang on a second. Did it say I'm ready to help? Is there another?
Yes, that was one of the lower tier gods.
How the heck did that happen? What's going on there? But hang on a second. Whilst we're here... Oh my god!
Oh!
The textural changes.
That is beautiful.
Okay. That's a nice improvement. Okay. Yeah. Alright, already I'm instantly impressed. They've improved everything. Everything just looks better. Graphics, good. Thumbs up from me. And now the next thing I want to try is, can we go up to the next level of Legend? What's that going to do? Okay, if you look, the level cap doesn't change. So we're still capped at 410. So 410 is the highest you can get a hero to. However, if we go to the talent tree, you'll see now we have 68 talent points. And I'm pretty sure before Scribe, it was 64 we could have.
That it was.
So now we can go ahead and upgrade our heroes to even further heights in these talent trees, which means you get more customizability, and you can make them stronger over various modes. So Overlord, Partner, and Formation just gave you more options when upgrading your heroes. Let's see what getting to Legend 2 is going to do for us. So immediately, our base power is improved, as expected. If we go to the talent menu, that hasn't gone up. Interesting. I don't know what the highest Legend tier is going to be, but I'm guessing it just gives you a little bit more power every time, which is kind of cool, because normally when you're left with a ton of copies of a hero, the only thing you really can do is just put them in the bin, right? Turn them into elves. So that now that we can use leftover copies, that's kind of good. But it would have been nice if that improved talent points. But then again, I don't know. If you can just keep on going, I think it might have got out of hand. Legend Gillis.
There are some really powerful combos that I've tried to get that I'm, just short that 8 or 12 points of getting.
Oh, between the two formations in talent trees?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Formation, Partner, Overlord, just like having different stats. Yeah, that makes sense, because you can get crit and hit and various things from different menus. As you can see, Partner gives crit and Overlord gives crit. So that's one interesting thing. And then obviously there's ones that benefit you for having elves and where they are in the lineup, electronic interference, things like that. So I think the more talent points might get out of hand. But still, it's nice to see that you get a little bit more power. Interesting. I think this needs further discovery. We can't tell you everything yet. We don't quite have enough resources to go ahead and keep going with this Arcane Scholar. But do bear in mind, Legend 1 is probably as high as you need to go immediately. But going further wouldn't hurt. It did give us a tiny improvement to our stats. Now, when it comes to stat improvements, we should probably go ahead and look at this brand new update that's come out, which you can find here at the top, called the Palace. It's just like Prey. The Prey menu is still here and works exactly the same as it used to, but there's a new feature. Resonance. Your 6 highest level heroes will determine the resonance level, which right now, as you can see, is 360, because our lowest level hero is also 360. But what this does, guys, is very simple but exceptionally effective. Basically, if you pop a hero in these prey slots down here, so I'm going to click on this one, if you put them in, it will level them up as high as they can go, determined by how powerful they are. So, by popping in someone like, let's say, this Shura Killer right here, she's just been put up to level 160 because she's 4-star gold. Instantly leveled up just by being in this slot. Now, if I go back and I go take a look at it in our hero menu, you'll see, hopefully, that carries over. Yes, it does. You can see she is now level 160 as if you'd have given her a ton of gold and force. One thing to note, you cannot actually upgrade them when they're in there. It is just an automatic boost. But that means if you've got a bunch of heroes that are all, let's say, 5-star red, but you don't have the golden force to go ahead and upgrade them, or maybe you want to spend your golden force on something else, what you can do is pop them in this resonance thing and it will just automatically boost their level up. What do you think about that, Scribe?
I think that's going to be a big help to some of the game modes, such as the military match, where you need a lot of heroes, but you only want to focus on your main team.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think as well, there's a lot of heroes that people like to build on the side, but don't necessarily want to put resources into to level them up. So let's say if it's multiple healers, maybe you want to experiment with both mental healing and Sakura Dancer, but you feel forced to use Sakura Dancer because she's so good in the simulated alpha, but mental healing in PvP may offer something interesting, but it's a lot of resources to put into a healer, and if you don't level up your healer, they're not going to heal very well, so it kind of seems like a waste. And yeah, Legend Killer just said in chat there, it will really help in simulated alpha, because it's going to mean that a lot of heroes, like let's say Phantom Blade, let's say the only use of Phantom Blade you're using right now is her in the simulated alpha, or perhaps let's say you're using Element Sprite only in the simulated alpha. By relying on this to level them up, you can focus on your PvP team or the heroes that you really want to pop, let's say like Deadly Shadow or Time Guardian, people like that, and get them as strong as you can because you only need 6 at this higher level tier of play, which I think is going to be really helpful. It's probably going to be more useful to end game players, but it does mean that you can just focus on a main 6 and everyone else is just naturally brought up. One thing worth mentioning is you see these little slots here. To unlock more resonance slots, you need to improve your Master Cabin. So by leveling up the Master Cabin, getting that higher, because this is only level 5, right? You can actually see how many resonance slots it gives. So level 5 gives 5, level 6 gives 6, level 7 gives 7, etc., etc., etc. And it suddenly starts to massively scale. So 9 gives 10, 10 gives 12, 11 suddenly gives 14. So these deeper levels of Master Cabin are actually going to benefit you a lot. I like that as well, because I think it is more spenders and endgame players that are going to need these cabins, so I don't imagine it's going to get out of hand, and I don't think you might get capped by this too quickly. If you are capped by it, just be strategic with the heroes you put in here, and try not to build too wide. Anything else you think you need to add to that, Scribe?
No. I kind of got distracted when you blew my mind about mentioning Element Sprite.
Oh, why?
In simulated alpha.
Oh, yeah, why? Have you wasted so many resources leveling her up?
Not yet, but it's been one of my plans.
Oh, so you can
just... I can scratch that off my to-do list.
yeah. Just save force and gold for other things. Like, what things would you say are good for spending force and gold on now if you've gone and got your 6 heroes upgraded?
Being able to save on upgrading other heroes. Force definitely goes into upgrading elves. I would love to get all my elves maxed out. And then that always offsets how much gold you have compared to force.
Yeah.
And so the extra gold all goes into making higher gear in the cabin.
Oh, of course.
So that you can get better gear faster.
Yeah, because in the production cabin, what you can do is you spend gold to produce higher level gear. Now, it depends on what you've got upgraded. Like this, for example, this cabin's not upgraded, but it means you can just jump straight to higher end gear, which are supersets, which potentially give better stats. And the only other thing that can get power crept by that would be, the fancy armors like Eternal Night Armor, but they are paywalled, right? They are very expensive to pick up, or you have to grind them out as a free-to-play player, so having a bunch of orange equipment and being able to use your gold to build that quickly, you're right, that's an efficient use. So the final thing that they've added that we're going to take a look at today are the improvements to Endless Trial. First of all, check out this camera angle. We now have a fully customizable angle where you can see what's going on, and Maya is going to be a full sprite there for you to move around. As well, there's a fight button. I unfortunately can't show you this because the season's over, but it means you can fight stages in this, which is going to allow you to make more progress. That's excellent. And by fighting, you actually gain this little number down here. You can hopefully see there's now a counter on how many times you can spin the roulette wheel and make progress. What do you think about this, Scribe?
I am a little disappointed to lose the endless farming of commander items with the limited spins that you get. But when trying to advance through the endless trial, being able to skip just straight to the fights is going to save a lot of time.
Yeah, that button is going to be super helpful. Because I know we was talking about when the endless trial first came out, how many hours we would have to sink to make progress, right? It's ridiculous because you'd have to move around, hopefully land on a fight, get the fight, progress, and there you go, next level. And just do that over and over again. Being able to just click fight is useful. That said, though, I think they said that by using fights, you can get spins. So assuming you can fight an infinite number of times, you might still be able to spin an infinite number of times. It just takes a lot of fighting.
I was going to say true, but if you do have to win the fights, you will eventually, every time you win, you move up a level, and you will eventually hit that point where you don't win anymore.
Ah, of course, because once you win enough fights, you move to the next stage over and over again. That is true. So yeah, you will get to a level. So farming might not be as infinite. Good point. That said, it will refresh, I believe, the number of spins you can get, so it's not going to be too problematic. But yeah, if you're a mega exploiter like Scribe and want to get all the commander items, unfortunately, that's going to be coming to an end. Does that mean collect all the commander items you can now before this update lands? Maybe.
That's what I'm hearing.
Hope you've got a lot of hours on your hands, Scribe. And one final thing they've added to the Endless Trial is there's actually more squares that heal you, which is pretty beneficial. You can already see it on this map. There's a lot of green pluses around, which is good. And you'll hopefully notice as well, the optional fights are now removed. There's no fights that you land on and go, oh, am I going to fight this? I'm not sure. All of these are just red boxes with double slashes on, and that means you have to fight them. So optional fights are gone. Compulsory fights are in. So good luck with that one, folks. It means you can no longer say no to a fight. You got to go ahead and do it. That may make moving around this board just harder. That's potentially what they've done. They've just made it more challenging to move around the board, I think. And I think it inadvertently improves the value of the radar, right? Because the radars, once you get a ton of them, it's kind of like, what do you do with these? But now that you can actually decide and are limited to the number of spins you do, it may make these radars a lot more helpful.
Now, I do wonder if using the GPS, if that actually uses up one of your spins, or if that counts as its own spin.
Which is an interesting point.
That'll be interesting, too.
Because I can't test that right now, but if a GPS is a free spin, that's a game changer. Legend Killer thinks it should be a free spin. That's what I'm thinking too, but you never know. It could just lock in the number. And I think it increases the value of them. I think it's a nice way of balancing this game mode out. You could argue it was a little too easy before. So even though we're now OGs that remember the old style, when it comes to a game design standpoint, this is better. When it comes to exploitability for the player base, not as good. So overall, it's an improvement, even though we can't farm it now. But I think that's fair, right? I think that's fair. I think it's a needed improvement. So yeah, I'm liking this. So there you go, folks. That's all the changes to the game. I think, in my opinion, the biggest change is the graphics. It just makes the game look so much prettier. And I think at the end of the day, why do we play games? To have fun. And making the game look prettier makes it a more pleasant experience. From a modding standpoint, I know modding games to make them look pretty is kind of what people will spend hours of their life doing generally if you're into modding games. Gameplay enhancements are nice and all, but when it's nice to look at and play, it just makes the game experience so much better. Even Adventure Mode has a much tighter feel and look to it, but it still keeps that retro vibe of a top-down exploration space game. So that's fun too. You can see a few of the sprites are a lot tighter, and that's good. Even the glow on this wormhole looks darned beautiful. So yeah, loving the lighting improvements. I wonder how people's smartphones are going to handle this. Right? I know smartphones are getting better and more powerful, but I even know when I was downloading this update, I was like, this is taking a while. So I'm wondering how people with cheaper smartphones are going to cope. If you do find that you're struggling, you can knock the graphics down to just smooth rather than exquisite. It will make them a little bit more manageable. There's standard as well. So you don't have to run it at max graphics. You don't have to run it at max frames. You can bring your DPI down. There's a lot of things you can do to adjust the settings. I am running max graphics right now on here on a fancy-ass PC. So I should be able to run all this. But either way, it looks fantastic. And yeah, massive improvement. Customizable armor pieces. That's awesome. Higher end level on heroes. Updated cards as well. That's awesome. The addition of the Resonance update. Fantastic. There's just a lot of cool improvements here, which I think are going to make people's experience playing Angel Legion so much better. So now is a great time to give it a try. If you guys haven't already, you can download it for free on your mobile device from your app store, or you can get it on your PC on Steam. It looks fantastic, it feels fantastic, and I can't wait to get in here and play some more. So folks, this update's coming out soon. Thank you for taking a look at this exclusive event, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to download this game, and adios. Happy idling!